Hi, I'm Peter Cowan, the Bee Whisperer, here at my new yard at the Good Shepherd Food Bank, which is just over there. And they've been kind enough to give me some space to put a few beehives here. So I've got just under 24 colonies here. And we're just getting to the time of year where we have great things starting to happen. We have the blackberry flow is on right now, so the blackberries are in bloom. The bees don't seem to be making a heck of a lot of that, but they're in it right now, for example. But the other bigger flow that's just about to get going now. Also at the same time we've got things like black locust and that sort of stuff. But the other thing that's starting to happen now is this stuff, the white clover. And when the white clover gets going and we have a bit of heat, we can get some really good nectar flow from that. So the bees are just about to go onto that clover, although next week's going to be a little cooler, so we'll see what happens. But what we're going to do here now is start to prepare these colonies to go from double brood chamber to single brood chamber. What's happened in the last few weeks is that they've gone from a single brood chamber colony to a double, so that the queen can expand up and start laying in the upper brood chamber. So this bottom brood chamber has been pretty full of brood. It had 5 to 7 frames of brood a few weeks ago. This box was added. Hopefully now, although it was all just a box of foundation, if you had drawn comb it would be much faster. But we should have between 2 and 6 frames of brood upstairs now. And what we're going to do is we're going to thin down the strong ones and put the surplus energy into the smaller ones. So we're going to see what happens, and we'll get set up and see if we can't make some arrangements for single brood chamber management for the rest of the summer here. Hopefully we'll get about half this yard done this morning. We could possibly go further. And I've just decided, rather than let Cameron hold the camera and get bees all over the place, we'll see how it goes by just setting up the tripod here. So let's see how that goes instead. Okay, let's get things started here. We'll start off with this hive and see where we are. Pop a bit of smoke in the entrances. Yeah, I thought so. But let's see what we have. Not all of them are of equal strength. Some had supers on later than others, and this looks like one that is not strong. Okay, so this one is not ready, but we'll see where we are with them. Thank you.
Would you like me to leave the
Did I lose that there?
No, it's not.
Okay.
That was easy.
Okay, so this one's got next to nothing going on upstairs yet. Presumably, everything is okay down below. So, nope, this colony is not in the best of shape as it is. We may have gone queenless in this one. Let's have a quick look, so things aren't quite right here. Got some brood. We've got some drones. Now this colony we're going to cull. We're going to shake it out pretty shortly.
You want me to grab a nuke box for that?
No, not just yet. What we're going to do is we'll use surplus strength, any strength from colonies like this, and combine it with others, and then we'll replace poor ones with new nukes from the yard that we've been using. So this colony we're just going to put to one side just for now. So let's just put this colony over here fully intact. We'll just take this out of the equation right now. Go to the next one. Put that board up there, Cam. This colony, on the other hand, looks very different. When you've got a yard of 20 hives, you're going to see variation in some hives where the queen doesn't make it or something goes wrong. And so the best bet is you just cull it out. Here, the bees have started to move up into these frames. Nothing very special. I just pull it right out. And if someone wants to be a camera person, just keep an eye that we're framing things up. But this is still got a little way to go before it's going to be strong enough to go into single brood chamber. We've got some resources up here. More honey up here. More resources. Could be that we're just not getting the honey flow here yet. It varies from yard to yard. In Hamden we've got locust trees across the street, so they've got a nice flow there. But here we've got some brood, and I have a queen cell there, which I don't want to see. So I'm going to have to go through this one just to make sure we don't have, or haven't had, a swarm in this one. So, two examples which are not going to be great for what I was planning to do. It's almost the right size. Bottom chamber is in great shape. Let's hope we've got queen cells down there. So we get right down here. Look down below. Yeah, we've got queen cells down here. Where's the smoker gone? Okay. Strength is fine. Oh, we've got queen cells here. Some capped queen cells, so this colony may have swarmed already. So I've got to see what's happening here. Okay. Have a look in the trees just to see if you can see any bundles of bees. So we've got queen cells here. Don't know if it's swarmed or not. I'll close it up for the moment. If it hasn't swarmed already, I can stop it. Obviously, I want to see what the rest of the yard looks like first. Might be doing a lot of editing of this video. So we've got some good growth in this colony. Let's get tight in on it where we can. bees are starting to work on the foundation out here, is what we want to see. Starting to bring in a bit of nectar here. And the queen is laying up here. It's full of eggs. Get right in on that. Plenty of eggs in there. So that's one frame with brood in. Mostly resources here, a little bit of brood. And they're mostly putting honey up here. This is all honey or nectar. Eggs up here and on here. So the queen's just got to work up in this part. More resources there. So I had one frame with eggs there. I'm going to put the other frames of eggs together. Built a good deal of it up here so far. Mostly resources. Have a look underneath and see what's happening down there. This looks good. Fully occupying this space here. No queen cells. So this colony is coming along really nicely. There's some queen cups here. But there's no threat of this hive swarming. So this hive is in good shape to be ready for the single brood chamber management pretty soon, if not now. We'll see what the others are like first before we take action. Might be that I'm trying to do the single brood chamber management just a bit too early. If you want to go around and get those outcomes, that'd be very helpful. So, this is one that could go now, but I'd rather have seen them a little stronger than that with more advanced brood upstairs. They're not quite there yet with this one. Let's have a look over. Okay, possibly a little more advanced still. Plenty of bees. Building comb, not always straight. All honey so far. We've got a Honeyflow on anyway. In effect, they're making themselves a single brood chamber colony because they're filling up, as soon as they build the comb, they're filling it with honey. No eggs up here. This queen's not getting a chance to lay up here. So in effect, it's a single brood chamber colony. Just like the last one. See what's happening down below as well. A lot of honey in here already. And again, this one's in great shape with regarding no signs of swarming, anything like that. Plenty of brood. A lot of honey though. So I don't want it to get honey bound in here. This is the problem that a beekeeper faces, always not enough drawn comb. I suspect the outer combs here are full of honey already, and we're going to get honey bound. I put some foundation down here. Full of honey. We're into the brood here. See plenty of cat brood in here. Nice, a lot of cat brood. Emerging brood. Population racing up. Queen's refilling those spots with eggs. Frames of brood. Five frames of brood. Six frames of brood. Seven frames of brood and the queen. So, plenty of brood. Not so full of honey that I'm worried about it. 7 frames of brood. Framing off the honey. Leave that in there. So we're certainly going to have a lot more young bees drawing comb over the next week. So it's probably, with these hives, it looks like we're just a little bit early to convert them to single brood chamber. They're doing it by default, but the queen will make more progress up here. Let's continue to look through some of these. Making some good progress up here, but nothing special. Not quite ready to shake things down. I want them to continue building here. They are building. As doing everything at foundation is always more challenging. We're into brood up here, so that's good. One. This is more like what I was expecting to see. One frame of brood, another frame of brood, another frame of brood, and more eggs in here. So this is coming along. At the moment, what I'm seeing here is telling me we're about a week too early to change it. There's still plenty of room to expand into these boxes to turn them into turn them into honey supers. That's the sort of thing we're looking for. Showing good progress. Look here. This one is hardly touched. So we'll see if we've got any queen cells developing here like we did in the first one. This one's probably only just got its second super. Good and strong down below, but hasn't quite moved upstairs yet. Oh, lovely. No signs of swarming, but still not even developed right down to the very bottom here yet. So, nothing to be alarmed or excited about here yet. It seems to vary quite a bit. We've had stronger honey flows in some areas than this one. But we'll see. See how it goes. Give room for growth. Full of brood. I think this is colony I mixed two together. Bit of brood. Just growing into it. Yeah, we are too early. I'm finally starting to catch up with myself after being so far behind with everything. For a change, I'm trying to get something here done too early. So that's promising. It means I'm catching up. It is only the 10th of June. Normally, like last year, I wasn't really doing this until the 20th of June, but we're getting there. I can see 3 frames with honey in the top here at the moment, and bees working their way up here. And if there was already drawn comb, they're taking advantage of it. Honey on one side, brood on the other. we'll move along. Doesn't look like we're going to be doing this shakedown today, though. Just to get a feel what's going on. This looks exactly the same as the others. This one's not even really got up there yet. A lot more bees in here, but still just in the process of drawing comb. They haven't filled out the combs yet. Queen's up here laying, so it's coming along nicely, but not quite there yet. Nothing is jumping out at us in terms of needing to be thinned down or built up. Now, here's an exception. A little different from the others, a bit stronger. And this one was a little weaker, so we might do some balancing here. When I say weak, I don't mean weak, I mean smaller. Okay, so I'll have a look here. This looks like there might be some strength in here that I can take, but probably not. Some eggs. Eggs on this side. The difference it makes is there's a drawn comb out here. So when there's a drawn comb out here, this was all foundation except for this one, which was drawn comb, and look at the difference between it and the others. You can go straight into drawn comb. So we're having a surplus of drawn comb is a real advantage. That's why more and more of my honey production is going into deep boxes, because I need those deep drawn combs. They're like gold dust to a beekeeper. Eggs in the middle, honey around it, brood here. So I'll take one of these, make sure the queen's not on it. Boost that one a little bit. Not quite as full as it looked at first glimpse. Can I open that one? No? Same here, the drawn comb is packed with resources and brood. We'll close that up. So see if there's any that look exceptionally different from the others. Uniformity is a good thing. Again, single comb that was drawn out, and they're fully occupying that, and they're getting to work on the others. They're up here, but only just starting. Must have been more recently that I was in these hives than I'm thinking. Cam, you want to close that one up? There's more bees in there. This hive certainly got a good population. I'll put a puff of smoke in here as well, please, Cam. Just getting to work on the outside, on the entrance. When bees do this, it's a nuisance, but they'll straighten it up if you keep on top of it. It's going to happen when you've got dozens of frames of foundation. They're going to build some a bit wonky. Mostly honey up here, but they're certainly busy storing food. That's fine, this one needs fixing too. They should build that right out. So I'll fix that right up. Oh, a bit more on this side, missed. Better to catch it when the comb is small than waiting for the comb to be big. It's very easy to fix it now. Less so later if it's full of brood and lots of honey. Right now it's easy to fix. Drawing out the comb, a few drawn out, pretty much like some of the better ones we've looked at. Certainly more bees. Much higher number of bees here. But the building is just a little bit ahead. I can see that they've still got comb to draw on here. And put some smoke on here, Cam. and the entrance would be good too. But they're building comb right out to the edge, which is a good sign. This is a significantly more advanced colony than some of the others. Got eggs out here. Honey at the top. Big patch of drone brood which we're going to cut out because they're messing up the rest of the comb. So not every comb gets built the way you want. They should repair that pretty well. So I didn't do that because it was drone brood, I did it because it wasn't built straight onto the foundation, which is common in sometimes when they're building out. Not because it's plastic foundation, they'll do that with wax foundation also before the comments come flooding in about how terrible plastic foundation is. Most of the time they build beautiful comb like this, but occasionally you have to be on top of it when they don't build it quite straight. So we've got several combs built, maybe 5 or 6 combs mostly built here. So this is what I was hoping I'd see most of the hives like. We're not quite at this. We've only got one like this so far. But I'd say by a week's time the majority will be like this. Just getting going up here. I don't even have to dig into it. I can see 2 or 3 combs built and starting on most of the others. Don't have to disturb them if you know what you're looking at. Likewise with this one, they're working on the comb that was already drawn. Oh, I wish I had supers of drawn out comb here. That would be, they'd be working on all of them by now. Again, just working on the one with the comb and a little bit around it. And last but not least, there's the same. The drawn comb they're working on, the others they're getting to. So it's always good to arrive with a plan, but you have to be able to be ready to change that plan at any time. Basically, these hives are not ready to be converted into single brood chamber management. They've not grown sufficiently yet that they need to have that manipulation done. So what I will be doing is coming back in 1 or 2 weeks, round about the equinox, the time I would have normally done it anyway, I suppose, and then they will be ready. I would say that of these, most have 1 or 2 frames of eggs and or larvae upstairs, and 3 or 4 frames that are being built full of honey. I would say that in another week we'll have 3 or 4 more frames that are completely built and 2 or 3 more frames that have more brood in. As that brood develops, it's about the right stage to do that manipulation. So It's too early yet. It would have been a little different here if we had a stronger honey flow in this particular yard, but it could come pretty quickly because there's some big fields around here. Clover is not quite producing yet. It normally doesn't start until the 20th of June, so it is a bit early for it yet. So it looks to be right on schedule for about the 20th of June, 21st of June this year. So another 10 days, I'd say, will certainly be at the right stage. We'll see what the other yards are like, and we'll do a couple of manipulations because a few of my hives in Hamden were ready. I'm Peter Cowan, the Bee Whisperer. See you next time.